So what I've done is we are now live on YouTube and LinkedIn. Welcome everybody to our Connect Ottawa call. We're really fortunate to have Acie Tran here from 9 Mile Creative, who is going to be sharing about the video trifecta. So really about, your content, your video, how to make impact for the crowd out there. So I know for one, I'm really excited about this. But before we get started, just a little bit about Connect Ottawa. Well, as the name donates, we connect people. So we've actually had the luxury of meeting people from around the world, new relationships here in Ottawa. Actually, it's kind of cool because you just never know who's going to be on these calls these days. So I've got a couple of new people that are new to me on this call. So for those that are new, this is what happens. We let everybody give a quick introduction of yourselves, put a copy and paste it and put it in the chat so you can connect with someone after. I actually say that's networking nowadays. I mean, there is all sorts of networking groups out there, but one of the advantages of going on any call with anybody is, just setting a little goal. Is that one new person I'm going to meet today, or is that going to be two? And just call and have a real old-fashioned conversation, like we were chatting about just before the call. Even Acie was saying, it's like just like when we used to do around the kitchen table. That's where it starts. Not with selling anything, just sit down and have an old-fashioned conversation. So we also, for those that are newcomers, this event here actually is one of our services we offer now. So if you are going, I'm ready to launch a business, or I've got a new product or service I'd like to do, or a fundraiser coming up, you might like to reach out to us. We have a very nominal fee just to take your hand and guide you through the process of getting you online. Because I know when you're starting out, how nerve-wracking it can be to do video. But again, we're going to love having Acie here today because he's going to probably give us a few tips to make us feel more comfortable. So on that note, I am going to go around the room and have everybody do a quick introduction and share who you are, what you do, or maybe what would you like to be known for. So David, no pressure. Let's start with you. Hi, Tuan. Oh, and you're on mute.
There we go. Sorry about that. So I'm David Christie, and I'm a consultant with IG Wealth Management. There you go. And what I do is I bring clarity and educate people with all aspects of their financial lives. I talk about planning for all their goals, their hopes, their dreams, and I help make it happen, but we do it together. It's a professional business practice of mine to make sure I connect with all my prospective clients and make sure that we're a good fit for each other. I like to do business with people that I like. So we always start by connecting.
Perfect.
Thank you. That's
great. Thanks a lot, David. Don't forget to put your information in the chat. And Pierre, how about you?
Hi, my name is Pierre. I own a business called Lucid Web Marketing, and I help businesses with their online marketing, advertising using platforms that are called pay-per-click, such as Google Ads, Microsoft, Amazon, LinkedIn, and a whole bunch of others.
Okay, cool. Well, great to have you here, Pierre. And Mayank.
Name is Mayank. I'm from Ottawa, Canada. I'm a health and wellness coach, and I help people. I make people fall in love with fitness. I help them with their situation, whether it's physical or mental. Believe I'm not a therapist. It's just I'm a guy with clear mentality. I don't bullshit. I live a very simple life, and and I'm a podcaster. It's been 4 weeks now, so a new role to play.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Great to have you here. And we'll move on to, how about Tuan?
Hey, everyone. So I'm, of course, with Acie over 9 Mile Creative. And I'm an entrepreneur who loves to help people grow their businesses through content, digital marketing, and leadership consulting. I come from a background of tech, and I've built a few companies and have leveraged it to 152 staff at one point, and have sold a couple of companies for a pretty good amount. And I just want to take that experience and my network and support sort of new entrepreneurs to grow and scale their business in a similar way.
Well, we are thrilled to have you here. Thanks for joining us. And Bernie.
Margaret Ann, thank you. Bernie Francois from Creative Insight Consultants. I connect resources to resources. Contact details are in the chat. I have a podcast called Mac for Business. It's about the business space, and also a co-host on the Property Wizard podcast. It's about commercial real estate. And if you want to invest in that space, it kind of walks you through the different elements. And over to you, Margaret Ann.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I'm Margaret Ann Davis from downtown Fitzroy Harbor. And I'm actually really passionate about helping entrepreneurs get on track, and especially nowadays with their side hustles. So opening up in 2023, I'm going to be having a program that guides you through the process of entrepreneurship, from getting a domain to putting up a website, or just simple things like, what's your business pitch? Do you have a presentation? All of the things that people are going, I don't know what to do. I'm a little nervous. So I want to take that fear factor out of it and say, it's okay. We've all been there, and let's have some fun together, because it's time to put some more fun back into our life. And on that note, I'm going to introduce our guest speaker today. Really excited to have Acie Tran here. And Acie is a creative-driven entrepreneur with a background in IT and IM project management. He is an active filmmaker, photographer, professional DJ, MC, podcaster, and actor, where he fuses his passion in storytelling, personal development, and marketing. He contributes regularly to the community, including leadership roles in initiatives that raise millions and awareness for charities, including Make-A-Wish, United Way, Movember, and Run for Women. And on that note, I'll pass the mic over to Acie, and I know that him and his partner will be speaking today. Welcome.
Thank you, and welcome everybody, and thank you for having me be a part of this. This is amazing. Thank you for that great introduction. And again, just wanted to introduce my partner Tuan, who will be doing the earlier stage of this presentation. But again, so what we do, we're a film and content marketing production shop. And we help to solve the problems that a lot of people have when it comes to trying to decide what types of content to create, because it's no lie that video production is one of the most expensive forms of media that you can actually invest in. So we are here to help you with our expertise, to help you make better decisions on how to more wisely spend those dollars that you have, those precious dollars that you have, that you put aside for marketing. So I'm actually going to defer to Tuan first. I'm going to share my screen and share my my presentation so that you guys can see. And as you know, Tuan is the business juggernaut. He's the resonance king. And I am more of the creative kind of like content kind of building kind of side. So we have a very interesting dynamic between the two of us. So can you guys all see this? I'm just going to go back, and then I'm going to full screen this actually. All right. Does everybody see the title there? Perfect. All right. Tuan, do you want to? All right.
Rock and roll, guys. Let's rock this. So of course we hear about video, and I'm sure you've heard this, video's in, video's the future, you need to get into video. That's great. But you know what? This is what we've also heard. Video is too difficult. Video is too much work. Video is too expensive. I don't like to be on camera. So why do people actually feel this, right? There's many reasons, but of course, having done this for so long, most video content that appears to work seems to require high production and specialized skills. And another potential reason is people express that successful people on video seem to be natural in front of cameras, right? And I'm curious, everyone here, like, what do you think other reasons could be? Does anyone want to share why, if you haven't gone all in on video or invest more into video, does anyone want to share? Or maybe people you've heard that you deal with, like Pierre, if you talk to potential clients who are considering video, are there reasons why they decide, we might want to do it?
Or if you've had experiences in actually producing some of your own video content, we'd like to know, what have your challenges been there? What have you noticed and things like that?
I think one of the first elements is how you're coming across. Are you coming across the way you want? Because as you speak, you don't hear your voice. So you need a sounding board. And the other piece, what I've noticed on a couple other platforms, people have a certain pattern, how they intro, or they have something that's their signature mark. Mm-hmm. Those are the elements. So it's developing that piece.
I love it. Anyone else want to contribute? I love that. Finding your voice is something that's very difficult and challenging. Absolutely. Yeah.
I believe I agree with Bernie here. When I started doing my video stuff, because I make a lot of videos, and And in the beginning, you actually have to get used to looking at yourself on the screen, because if you look at yourself in the mirror, which you do every day when you brush your teeth, whatever you do in the bathroom, that's easy because you do that since you were a child, but now a camera is something else. And there's two things to this. If you have a selfie camera, you are looking at yourself. That's basically like a mirror. So that's easy. And that is why a lot of people use Snapchat and cameras with third-party applications, because they actually give you the chance to look at yourself. But whenever you, let's say you do a video where you're just looking into the lens of the camera, that's a bit tricky here. That's where it gets a bit tricky and difficult, because now you don't have a human face to talk to. You just have a little lens, and you have to look into it, and you have to pretend that you are talking to someone, because if you don't pretend, you come off on the screen as if you're a parrot reciting something. You're not like talking to someone, especially YouTubers and stuff. So when I started doing it, I think people need to practice a bit before they can go. Like, it's not like, okay, let me just become a video guy today. It needs like 5 to 10 days of practice where you get used to you on the screen before you can get other people get used to you on the screen, right? You have to, for example, I'm a podcaster. So I did a lot of voice memos during my practice months this winter, the winter that just passed. And the voice you hear on the speaker is not something that you're used to. But the voice, because that's what you hear is your internal voice. But what right now you're hearing my external voice, right? So, and then the speaker, that's the external voice. And it's a huge difference, because when I did my first voice memo, I'm like, what the hell? I sound like this. and then you kind of grow from it. But then when you get used to that, then it's become natural, because right now I can talk on camera like for endless hours, but you need practice. My point is that it doesn't happen on a dime. You need to get used to yourself.
Yes, of course. I mean, it definitely takes a lot of the self-coaching, right? Like, I think on one end, you mentioned that there's a lot of repetition and reps you have to put in. I mean, you're a fitness guy, so you understand that you have to get the reps in to get comfortable with that, right? But a lot of that beforehand, and we're going to get a lot into this after, is really knowing what your core values are, right? And getting into that, defeating your limiting beliefs a little bit when you get into the front of the camera. I find that's one of the biggest obstacles and hurdles that a lot of our clients have to go through. So we do a combination of the two of them for sure, just to get people very comfortable on camera. But thank you for sharing. That was very great.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you for sharing. Well, let's continue to rock this here, boys and girls. All right, we're gonna
just go back to the audience.
Oh, good.
There we go.
We like, as you can see, we like to go off screen, so we're not staring at slides all the time, right? So it's just nice to connect in person like this, virtually, I guess. So of course we have all these things, and how do we overcome this? There's like 1,000 ways to overcome things like video anxiety and just getting moved on. But before even talking about it, who are we and why are we qualified to answer this question? So let's start with a little bit about us. We're 9 Mile Creative, where creativity meets growth, and we have kind of a philosophy around content. And before heading that, I kind of want to share like our value pillars. We're creatives at heart. Acie and I, we've done a lot of different things. I actually got into medical school in 1992. I ended up doing chemical engineering and accounting, and I could give you a bit more of my background before that. But on the outside, I accomplished a lot. But at the end of the day, I'm a creative at heart, and I've always loved being creative and just never put enough time into it. So from dance to music to film, we apply this love of creativity into impactful storytelling experiences for us that is core to our personal sense of purpose. And then we infuse this into creating powerful brands. We have over 40 years combined of being online. My chemical engineering project in marketing class became Canada's largest online directory. For those of you who grew up in Ottawa here over the last 40 years, you might have heard ottawakiosk.com. But what many people don't know is that it was Canadian kiosk, and we were in 26 cities. And we launched AutoCatch to 100 cities. We launched Health Genie in 9 cities. We launched conventions in 15 cities. So we had multiple online directories generating tens of millions of dollars through SEO and digital marketing. And then, of course, it includes video, and a lot of it actually was video and effective marketing. So we have been online for a long time. Video is our game. And I have been CMO for several companies, and even though I love being a CMO, I love video more. And as of late, the reason Acie and I came together is because we've done different things and we've realized that, we love video. It's just a passion. We love film. We love storytelling. We love the personal development that is required. Like, is it, how do you pronounce it? Mayank?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you said earlier, like it takes time and to be comfortable. And that's a whole personal development journey, I find, to be comfortable on camera. Right.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's our journey to joy. Right. And we humbly share that joy was not always in our hearts. Like, we denied our truth, both Acie and I. We denied our calling. We took the safe route all the time. Like, if you were to Google either of us, there's information out there of things we quote unquote accomplished, but we don't like that. That's defined who we are. And 9 Mile Creative is our answer to that. Is that we love what we do now. We're all about creativity, and we're all about growth through creativity, personal and business, right? Mm-hmm. And so hopefully this is who we are. And if there's alignment, then we'd love to work with people who align with us. Right, Acie? Like, I know we talked about this.
I mean, like I've been a public servant actually for the last almost 12 years of my career, right? And there's no really safer route than that. And I love what Margaret Anna was talking about earlier about helping people grow their side hustle. Because for me, 9 Mile Creative, along with a lot of my other businesses, started as a side hustle too. And now it's incredible what we've been able to achieve, but it's very inspiring. And the inspiration that I've received in order for me to take this route is what we hope to share with our clients too, giving them opportunities to be involved in the creativeness of their own business and their own marketing, and helping them essentially fall back in love with their business by doing the marketing and growing their business in that way along with us, right? I know a lot of other video production agencies will go out there, you tell them what to do, they produce it to you, and maybe it resonates, maybe it won't, maybe you might be wowed by some of the content, but there's just something different when you have like a horse in the race, when you're actually in there hands-on, when you're acting on camera, when you're coming up with a lot of the strategy. And most of all, it comes from within, it comes from your heart. It comes from the basis of like exactly who you are, from your core values. And from there, we just feel like this entire immersive experience of working on the marketing for your business is almost unthinkable as to how much enjoyment can actually come out of this when you work together with us. See what we have up next year.
Essentially, we have fun if we align. So I want to kind of share with you some of the people we work with. And I wanted a range of clients so you could see. So College Shortcuts is our client in California, and she now she's in Houston, but she helps students get into Ivy League schools. And if you notice here, it's under 10,000 followers. And here's the interesting thing: even at 3,000 followers, she generates $3 million from that followership of 3,000. And a tidbit is she was generating 2 million the last 3-4 years, and then we increased her to 3. So she's hitting 5 million this year, just because of our work with her on TikTok and Instagram and short form content. We'll move to the next slide here. And so this is Psych to Go. This is guys out of Vancouver. He has the largest YouTube channel for psychology. And I want to bring this forth as I've worked with him since day one. We've taken it from 0 to 10 million as of to date, generates well over $15 million a year, this business. And the important thing here is some people don't want to be on camera. And my friend here, the owner, Ty, he didn't want to be on camera. So we created a faceless channel. So it's fully animated, right? And then the next one, I'll let Acie speak to our next guy. So he's go ahead, Acie.
Yeah. So this is Nigel Ng. He's actually a very famous comedian, up and coming. But even as I say, he's up and coming, he started his channel actually at the beginning of the pandemic. And right now, as you can see, he's amassed over 6.5 million subscribers. So when he actually came to town to do his world tour, we were actually contracted to help him out. That's actually me right there pulling the tape off his face too. So I was able to act and to direct in this video. And it was amazing. And just getting a chance to learn a lot about him and his engagement strategy and his content strategy has taught us so much about where we can go forward with helping people with their personal YouTube channels. And that's just one channel of what we do. But as you can see, as of November 6th, and this was just updated a couple of days ago, we've already amassed 1.5 million views in just 2 days. It's probably well over close to 2 million views now. So incredible experience, so much fun. And like this embodies exactly what we want to do in the clients that we want to work with. I remember, David mentioning earlier, like he likes working with people that he likes to work with, right? that he likes. And that's what we're all about, right? We want to work with great clients that we have so much fun with, and we want our clients to be able to attract those same kind of clients as well.
Yeah, and so let's finish this little portion, Acie. Then Mike has a hand up, so we'll go there
Oh, sure.
right after this here. So
Definitely.
Yoga Cassandra, I don't know if anyone here does yoga, but she's right here in Ottawa, in Cumberland. She's a dear, dear friend of mine. And also, we got into this all together 7.5 years ago, and we've seen 0 to 2.1 million subscribers. And this is a different type of video. So it's exercise. So Mayank, like you're a fitness guy. And the moment you said that, I already knew like, oh my goodness, I would know how to blow, get to know you and work on a brand like yours, because there's a bit of a benefit around being a fitness person with videos. And I'll explain that afterwards. Let's move on to just the next few content. Majid, show of hands, has anyone met Majid yet? He's here in Ottawa also. And so Majid can't, I've seen him since day one, but he didn't have a TikTok channel. He tried by himself, and he called me one day. He had only 100 followers. This was a Tuesday when we relaunched his channel. By the time we hit Friday, he had 100,000 followers. And just with this following alone, he also generates $1 million a year. And so again, I won't touch into the actual business model, but what I really want to focus here is when we work with people, we don't just want to create followings. We want to create followings that convert. We want to create an audience that converts. So I don't like to say 1 million followers and nothing comes out of their business. So, we constantly do testing, and the way we do content is creativity, authenticity, but with the idea of growing someone's business. Next slide, please. This is another individual out of Vancouver. She's an amazing copywriter. She was maybe, I think, 5,000 or 6,000 people when she came to us, and we worked with her for about 6 weeks now. And so from 6,000 to almost 190,000. In fact, she might have crossed 190K followers today, and she's also a 7-figure coach. Next slide, please. And the last we want to kind of share here, then we'll go to Mike with your question, is I come from a technology background. Acie has been working with process and tech, and we're really into it. We also work with a bunch of tech companies as well as founders. So Fellow is locally owned here, and so we work with them to build their YouTube channel, their online content for short form content, and even some branded videos. So they're an incredible group of people, and they're actually one of my favorite companies in the world. So that's why I had to bring them forth. So Mayank, you had a question. What are you looking to think?
Yes, my question is, like, some people they talk about, like, growing a page. It could be a page on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok. My question is, like, a lot of people, they say that you should be posting or like creating content on every platform. Like my personal opinion, I would say that you could be either, like, you should be the king of, or like the like you should be good at one, right? Because think about it, Kabi Lane, right? He is the biggest TikToker, right? And he doesn't talk. He has like 180 million followers or something.
Yeah.
On TikTok.
Yeah.
But he's on TikTok, but from there he started at the Instagram, and then the following just went all the way from TikTok to Instagram. Like my question to you is it a good thing to start everywhere or just focus on one platform? Because nowadays we have 4 or 5, right?
Yeah, so I could answer that question easily. You do focus on one platform, but thanks to technology, you can just have your content everywhere, right? And you may be focused on TikTok. So I'll give you an example. College Shortcut, we focus on TikTok first, but it posted everywhere. But Instagram grew up first. So then we focus on Instagram, although we posted everywhere. Just technology allows us to post everywhere. Even a VA helps us post everywhere. But the way we produce content was for short form, right? Was meant for TikTok. It wasn't meant for YouTube, right? And I'll even give you a strategy we use right now that's like it's a hack, and it's really, really good, which is actually, I'll get to that in a minute. But now College Shortcut is blowing up on TikTok, and so is Copy Posse. Her TikTok channel is caught up with her Instagram. So our video is meant for short form, and we think TikTok is still the best audience for short form, but you never know, right? So, but I completely agree with you, is you focus on one. You could try it all in the beginning, but at the end of the day, you kind of run with what's kind of working.
But right? My question to you is this: why are the big ballers and the big players not on TikTok? Why? Why is that the case? I
think you're wrong with that. I think some people choose not to, but there's a lot of ballers on TikTok.
But like, for example, let's say Cristiano is not on TikTok, right? Like Dwayne Johnson is not on TikTok, and then
that's fine.
Yeah, like why are they not choosing this platform? Because personally, I don't even like it either. I like Instagram, I like YouTube. Not that I have anything against China, I
Yeah.
just don't like the application. I like the other ones, all like
Yeah.
LinkedIn and all that stuff. I don't know why people still, because to me, TikTok is more young and teenage and all that stuff. And Instagram is that too, but there's also like big people there. I don't know. I might be
Yeah,
wrong.
for sure. Well, just to
Yeah.
provide additional context, right? Like I just wanted to touch upon a couple of things about your question, Mayank. So first of all, like when we were thinking about what platform to produce, right? Especially when we were working with smaller businesses and, you know, limited budgets, in order to produce content for multiple platforms, it can add up really quickly, right? So this makes your decision a little bit easier. The second part of the question is determining what platform to actually go on and to focus on. And I agree with Tuan, stick with one or two. You know, if you post on Instagram, it obviously it auto posts on Instagram and Facebook at the same time, so you can cover both those at the same time. But it's also important to do the research beforehand, the market research, to see where exactly your audience is hanging out, right? So instead of shooting blankly, I mean, like for example, you want to go on TikTok, as you mentioned, like traditionally known as a platform for younger people, and like, you know, influence type people. You go to LinkedIn if you're doing more B2B, more business to business, right? So that's how you strategically start. And, you know, Tuan's going to get into a really interesting strategy after about like how to migrate from one platform, how stats and analytics from one platform informs your strategy for another platform, right? So definitely when you're starting off early, try to, I mean, it's your industry, it's your market. You should technically know a little bit about kind of where your audience is hanging out, right? So in fitness, like I would imagine like Instagram is very good for fitness, right? TikTok as well. It really depends on like who and how they're absorbing your information, right? If you're doing quick exercises, like it's actually going to be very good for TikTok, right? Because there's a lot of like home hacks and things that you can pick up and like quick facts that people like to digest quickly.
Yeah.
On TikTok. Yeah. So we've seen a lot of that being, especially content being successful.
Yeah. And if I can share, like when you look at Dwayne and celebrities, these are like celebrities, right? I'm talking about growing a business here.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You know, I'm talking about, you know, I would not, unless I have something truly it's not aligned with my values, right? But I'm here to test unturn every stone, look underneath every stone to see which one works, right? And so if you notice, Cassandra has 2.1 million, she's here locally, but she's not doing TikTok. You know, she started, but then she chose to stick with long form content. And it's because there are stats that show that anyone who loves short form content won't consume the long form content, right? But there's still, but still, so a hack that we started trying was when we work with a client, we come up with between 90 to 270 videos of short form. So that's up to 270 1-minute videos, right? You're either posting one a day or 3 per day for 90 days. We have 90 days of content that we get ready. And then we launch it on TikTok and Instagram. And then what happens is we're going to see some videos trending upwards. So let's say back pain caused by soccer, you know, starts trending. And you see like, wow, this video is getting 1,000, 2,000, and all your videos only get 300 views. Then what you do is you go and create a long form YouTube version of that video. So now your one video on back problem from soccer is now having 500,000 views, and maybe 10% of that will be led to YouTube because they want to see the long form version. You've just drove 50,000 views onto your video just because you were smart enough to recognize an increasing trend of one of your 200 1-minute videos, right? So we let TikTok almost help us build long form content, because we all do these long podcasts, we do these long shows, and we don't even know if it's going to work. We don't know if it's going to drive an audience. But if we test with all these little 30-second and 1-minute videos and a few of them take off, that's a clue for us that we could drive an audience into a long form content, which pays more. At the end of the day, YouTube is where you want to win. Like in the long, when I say where you want to win, we're talking about a 5 to 8 year plan.
I agree. YouTube is the place. Like YouTube is, when it comes to monetization and like perpetual success, YouTube is the place.
Absolutely. So we'll proceed here, and the main thing is first to answer your questions. Like we don't even have to go through everything on this slide. It's if something comes up that's relevant to your business, we rather go off screen and answer that question right away. So here's our little model, right? Content builds relationships. Relationships are built on trust, and trust drives revenue. As you can see, like we're not just a bunch of film people, right? We want to grow businesses. Like we want to see people build and make the impact they want to make and live the life they want to live through their business. And so I have a question for everyone right now, which is, true or false, is content king? Because we've all heard that expression, right? So you could put a 1 or 2, 1 for false, so 2, right? So the answer here is right there.
Yeah, just for the sake of time, I think we're just going to try to blow through these slides.
So content is actually not king, it's abundant. What you say, what everyone says right now is said everywhere in the world already. You know, what I'm telling you today is said by someone else already. So what is king? Next slide. Resonance is king. Right? And so if we want to pop the next slide again, resonance means your target audience feels understood, right? And Michael Jackson is one of my favorite singers. He's my inspiration. And he said this one quote: "I hate it when I get credit for the songs that I sing, because these lyrics have been sung by thousands of voices before me. I have been chosen this lifetime by God to be the messenger of this message," right? Because Michael Jackson made it resonate with someone like me. But what he says, everyone says, right? So, but there's 3 obstacles. Really, there's more, but I like to go with these 3 to resonance. And these are the 3 obstacles. First, we call it innocent arrogance, right? When it comes to content, business owners love to talk about their business. It's innocent, but it ends up being nothing important to your audience. It's just not important enough. Next, they squeeze too much info into a content or into a conversation, and it oversells, and people just don't know what you really do. Or the opposite, it's too broad. You kind of, hey, I'm a health practitioner. Great. Oh yeah, I solve weight problems. Great. That's still not enough, right? So all this detracts the idea of resonance, the effect of resonance. So if we move on, I have my, Acie and I, we come up with our resonance question, because every time we put out content, we say, have I done my best to prove to my audience that I truly understand who they are, their pain, and articulate it in a way that they would articulate it back to me? Which means, are you speaking the language that they speak? Otherwise, you're in a lot of trouble, right? And we move on to the resonance trifecta, and it always starts with you have to identify the specific person. Acie and I were very spiritual people, and we say the universe rewards specificity. And so if you don't specify, you don't get crap all, right? And so specific problem. Second is you have to actually solve a real problem, right? You have to actually solve a problem. And third is authentic storytelling. Resonance requires someone who feels they can relate to you and you relate to them. And if you're not real, they kind of see right through that. So this is the underlying trifecta that we created for resonance. And next slide. Resonance is where trust begins. And Acie, you want to take over here and talk about the stats and stuff?
Yeah, for sure. So we'll let all that set with you guys for a little bit, and then we're going to get more into statistics when it comes to actual video production. And I'm going to talk more about the technical aspects of the business and what we do. So I'm just going to pull this window down a little bit. So yeah, these are just some statistics here about why it's important to be transparent and to get loyalty from your client base. I know we spoke earlier about the obstacles and the hurdles that we actually have to jump over in order to even make ourselves comfortable on camera. So we kind of get the hard work done up front. If we can actually get you completely clear on what your core values are and what you stand in and the message that you get across, then we can just operate. Then we can just operate exactly from who we are, right? And just being transparent and being authentic, because that's just who we are. We don't have to think about how to be authentic or what the customer thinks that we should say. We here truly believe in just being who you are. And these stats right here from LinkedIn can prove that not only will you be able to, build a better audience or work with exactly who you want to, you'll be able to actually convert and see some great additions to your bottom line just from being authentic and being clear with your message. And what's also important right now is because we're experiencing what feels like a looming recession, right? Many businesses will always think to cut marketing at this point, but I think this is a mistake, and I'll tell you why. Okay. And it's very common sense. As in the recession, you'll be facing a lot of price objections, right? Especially when there's very little differentiation between yourself and your competitors. Of course, if a customer is faced with 2 options that appear to be exactly identical or perceived to be identical, which one do you think they'll pick, right? If you're not doing your marketing, you are the same as anyone else. It doesn't matter what your qualifications are. It doesn't matter how long you've been in business. It doesn't matter what your customer service scores are. If you're not articulating any of this stuff, if you're not showing off the work that you're doing, they're always going to pick the cheaper one, right? So While most businesses have actually absolutely no choice than to accept the lower price because they have no marketing, if you can actually put a good branding strategy in with a good content marketing strategy in, most people will go to your Instagram page or your website once they've spoken to you just to see if you're legit, right? Do you have, like, are you actually a legitimate business, or are you just trying to, like, scam people? And then that's where they go to your website and for your social media for. So you want to make sure, at least, even if you're not drawing leads or even if you're not drawing traffic from your social media, it's something that's there already to demonstrate your expertise, to demonstrate your experience. Once they see all that, and once they see some of the videos that we present a little bit further about our video trifecta, our second trifecta that we're going to present, then you'll see it's going to start to make sense. We here at 9 Mile Creative, personally, we're tired of playing the pricing game with people, and I'm sure you guys are too with your own business. So hopefully you guys will get a lot out of this video trifecta that we're about to present. I don't really need to say much about this slide because the state of online video, we all know that people watch an average of at least 19 hours per week of videos, and it's insane. If you're a parent here, you'll know that this is probably even underestimated. Like, kids nowadays are watching even more hours per week. And if you break it down, like, we're looking at what, like 1 or 2 hours of Netflix a night, scrolling on social media all day, and the different things, the different advertising you see outside. Like, video is absolutely everywhere right now. Up next, this is our video trifecta. So I'm going to kind of go off camera here a little bit, and I'll just kind of talk a little bit to you folks about the different types of videos and why we decided to kind of make a trifecta and why it kind of makes sense, right? So the 3 different videos are, like, one of them is short form content and the lead generation ads, right? When we're talking about different types of videos, we talk about the funnel, like the email, the marketing funnel, where we're encountering our audiences. Are they cold? Are they warm? Are they hot clients? And what kind of videos do we want to deliver to them at each stage, right? So actually, maybe I'll share again, and then we'll kind of just take a look at it as I go along, because I think it'll make more sense. But yeah, so we have our short form content and lead generation ads. A lot of the clients that we actually kind of just displayed to you earlier are short form generation and content leads. These are great to capture the eyes and the attention of your audience. And as Tuan mentioned too, because we're putting so many out, it becomes an excellent testing strategy as to see what our audience really cares about. Once we find out what they care about, we'll have typically brand and culture videos ready for them at the next stage of the funnel. Typically, these videos will sit on your website, or you can send it out on email blast campaigns. And this identifies your core values and what your company stands in, your missions and your value statements. And then this allows the audience to be able to not only get a chance to be educated about what you do and who you are, but it also gives them an opportunity to align themselves with who you are too. Because we all, it's not just David, we all want to do business with the people that we like. And this is one way to really, really demonstrate that. I think personally, if you can only have one video made, it would be the brand and culture video that sits on your website. Especially if you're not ready to test ads yet or anything like that, or the short form content, or if you're not even ready to present yourself on camera, right? This is one video. We can coach you through the video, and it's important for people to be able to connect to that. And the third one, testimonials and social proof, it's extremely important as well. And this is what, I mean, if you're on Amazon and you're looking for something to buy, what's the first section that you typically jump to before you're about to buy a product, right? You typically jump down to the reviews. You want to see what people are saying about it. You want to see how many 5-star reviews are there. And sometimes there's videos there too, like people make the videos of that, and like the people on Amazon are smart. They've seen that, like, the people who actually produce the videos of doing like the unboxing videos and the review videos, those really help to close sales. So sometimes they may even like invest and incentivize some of their clients to produce some of these videos for them, so that can help them get more sales. Starting with short form and content ads, I know we spoke extensively on this, but just a little bit of strategy here. We want to hook audiences within the first 5 seconds, right? We want to do what's called like pattern interruption, right? We want to cut through the noise a little bit. And by noise, as Tuan mentioned, content is abundant right now. There's content absolutely everywhere right now. So yes, everyone knows that they need to be producing content. They need to be producing video, but you don't want to just be adding to that noise, right? So we need to be able to come up with a way to give them a reason to continue watching for the next 5 seconds. Typically they're scrolling, and like, if you're not giving them a reason at all, they'll continue scrolling right past you. So you want to narrow down your topic into like very small bite-sized pieces. You want to keep it very value-oriented. You want to keep the videos under 45 seconds, sometimes even under 30 seconds when you're doing short form content and ads at the top of the funnel. And the goal here, and it's important to always set a goal and intention for every piece of content that you produce. The goal here is for your audience to see you often, but to also absorb value with every piece of content. You want to give them a reason to engage further. You want to give them a reason to subscribe and follow. And this is also known nowadays in the video production world as micro content. And it's fantastic because we've developed systems here and efficiencies that helps you like shoot months worth of content within as little as 1 day, like a 1 day shoot, because we're all very we're all very busy in our businesses, and we can't always set aside like a whole week to film content. Micro content itself, we find, is excellent for coaches, advisors, and experts. And these are fields where your expertise and knowledge gets you paid, like professional services. The ads are meant to quickly grab the attention and then also to direct them to the desired action that we want them to take. Nowadays, it's not a very successful strategy to put an ad out there and go directly to the sale. Most of the time, people are not ready for that, especially if you have a bit of a higher ticket item that you're trying to sell. So typically, our video will either direct them to a landing page where they can get more information, or a free download, like a lead magnet that they can download to go to the next step. And then we add them to an email campaign where we can continue to give further information, right? It really depends on the funnel and how complicated you want to get with the funnel. But you'll see that if you actually can build a proper funnel, you can actually automate it in a way using video so that you can actually do your marketing in your sleep. And then the different pieces that we're actually going to be talking about further after the short form content and ads, you'll see are the further pieces that we would put within that funnel. So it's important, like when you're planning your content, I think what a big pain point a lot of people have when they're producing content is, what do I talk about, right? Like the first obstacle is like, am I even qualified to speak on camera? Like, do I sound or look goofy on camera? But once you get past that, it's what do I talk about, right? And these are the questions that you want to ask yourself. It's what topics in my expertise can my clients benefit from immediately? And it's important when we talk about immediately because we need to give value right away to keep them hooked. It's so hard nowadays to kind of keep people engaged, right? This is a common pain point that a lot of marketers and a lot of businesses are facing. So we think about what's the highest value topics that you could talk about right away. And a lot of the times we can actually, draw from our experience in speaking with our clients about what are their frequently asked questions, what are their pain points, what's coming up the most with them. So at the very least, even if you're not getting your marketing done, at least you can buy yourself back time by answering the same questions over and over again in the form of a video, right? You can buy back your time to do more high value activities within your business. How can I speak to them in a way that connects? That's what Tuan was talking about earlier when he was talking about articulation, is what type of language is my audience speaking? And how can I use that language to be able to connect with them a little bit closer through my content? You don't want to be speaking at a way above their head kind of level, making yourself sound smart. In the end, that's not going to do yourself or your business any favors. What action do I want my viewer to take? Important, you want to add a call to action at the end of every single video in order to direct them to the next part of the funnel or direct them to the sale. Sometimes in e-commerce sales, that works. You go directly to the sale, you want them to buy, maybe you'll offer a coupon at the end, and then that's all you need to do. And where is my ideal audience? I know we spoke about this earlier, doing the research to find out exactly where your audience is. For example, B2B, you want to go towards LinkedIn more, right? If you want to do more, younger audiences, then you might want to stick more towards Instagram and TikTok in terms of which platform to pick. A brand message, I know we spoke about this a little bit earlier. So the brand message allows you to position yourself uniquely. It focuses completely on your business and personal core values, while your competitors are focusing on things like pricing, products, and features. But what's that? That's all noise. It's more noise, right? We've all seen the same types of commercials over and over and over again. And very rarely will we actually resonate and really remember commercials, right? So if we really take an exercise one day and remember, what are some of the best commercials that we've ever seen in our life, or some of the commercials that we see during, the Super Bowl halftime show, or like throughout the whole Super Bowl, they get very out of the box sometimes with their marketing. And it's great for marketers to watch and absorb this information and see how they're doing it and why they're doing it. We personally here, a lot of marketers should do this, but we tell stories that connects with your target audience, right? So how do we follow and how do we tell the best story arc? And how do we get that from you in order to tell the best story that we can tell? We think it's extremely important because everyone's story is really unique of yourself and your business. The brand message videos encounters warmer audiences typically, right? Once we're driving traffic to the website or to an email campaign, this is where people start seeing the brand message videos. And then the definition of brand awareness is it's all about how well audiences remember your company's identity, message, and presence after seeing your marketing. And typically the brand messages do not go straight to sale. They may go call to action to something else, or they could as well. Get more information, free consultation. These are some of the call to actions that you'll see at the end of a brand message video. Again, just to hammer home the fact that the idea is that we're no longer targeting and chasing everybody, right? We want to be able to resonate and connect with the audience that we want to do work with. And we all heard the term of firing your clients. If you're at that part of your business where you're starting to like fire your clients, congratulations, that's a great place to be. But in putting a proper brand message out there, we can actually prevent that problem altogether, that we're just attracting the prospects and the clients that we want to do business with. And we think that's fantastic for not only just business, but your own mental health, your own focus as a business owner. And we like to focus on a lot of the intangibles like that too here at 9 Mile Creative. We want peace for everybody in your business and in your life. And again, it's just the branding starts with your core values, right? I think we touched on this a little bit earlier, and it's important to align your business with what's important to you. Your core company values or your mission statement and your value statement, it not only shapes your company culture, but it also impacts your business strategy as well. It helps you create like a sense of purpose for your business, right? It improves team cohesion, and it creates a sense of commitment in the workplace, as well as, helps your bottom line. The transparency, as we talked about the stats earlier, allows your target audience not only to see your core values, but gives them an opportunity to align to them. And alignment between your career and core values just produces satisfaction, happiness, and fulfillment. And a misalignment can cause anything from minor problems to major disruptions, as you can really see. A lot of times, like, we gloss over like companies' mission statements and we wonder why it's even up there. We wonder if it's just virtue signaling, but it's actually really, really important once you set intentions right at the beginning of the outset of your business for all your team to work towards a common mission, right? It just makes decision-making agility so much easier. When you're faced with like a dilemma, as in, do I go this way or do I go this way? It's typically best to revert back to your mission statement. It's like, no, our mission statement is this path does not align to what we want to do, and we're all just going to go this way. It just makes management, it makes leadership, it makes everything, including the marketing, much faster and much easier. I just want to share some of our core values here at 9 Mile Creative. It's collaboration and co-creation. Authenticity and transparency, as you've seen throughout the throughout the presentation, and really just having a really, really good time. We love producing creative products and creative content, and we love co-creation and working together with our clients. And of course, these are the clients that we want to be working with, and it's just a great experience when everyone just creates together. Because I really feel personally, Tuan mentioned that we're very spiritual people, and I think life is all about art and who you create it with. And this business is an embodiment of that. Social proof. I talked a little bit about social proof earlier, about the reviews on Amazon. We have techniques here about how to interview a client in order to get the absolute best testimonial, right? Because we're answering the questions that the clients want to have, like, what problem are they having? How are they solving my problem? Why should I go with them? And why are they better than other people? These are just some of the things that go into a good testimonial. They're highly effective at discovery and at the point of decision, right? So if you're right at the end and you need that little push to get that sale, a testimonial has been known to be the highest converting type of video. And at discovery too, you want to see what all the hoopla is all about. Why are all these people doing business with this company? Why are they getting like all these great results, right? And that's where the FOMO comes in a little bit. And FOMO is like a new kind of hipster term. It's even a little bit past my time. And it's the fear of missing out, right? And the fear of missing out is an emotional response or the belief that important opportunities are being missed if you're not there. So a really good example of how to implement FOMO marketing is, let's say you have an event, a very big event that you want to run. And, it's your first year running the event. So my suggestion is always get some really cool video done with that event. So even the people who weren't there are going to want to be there next time, because they're going to see it and they're going to feel like they missed it. And they're like, oh, I really need to go to the next one. And this will allow you to produce subsequent events that are even more successful, or to have an even subsequent event at all, because sometimes you run an event, it's not that successful, and then that just might be it, right? So we want to make the best out of every opportunity we have and squeeze the juice out of every event or every big job that you have as well. And then again, just hammering home again, have fun experimenting and growing. All the best marketers, whether it's digital advertising, whether it's content marketing, the most important thing is experimentation and testing and adjusting, right? We just want to hammer home that a commitment to authenticity has to be made in order to do what we do. Creativity is truly an expression from within. And we really believe that vulnerability is truly felt by audiences. I know we mentioned, Margaret mentioned earlier about her story about Gary Vee and his story about why he wanted to own the New York Jets and the connection that he had with his mom. That really hits home, right? Because we've all felt that in some way or another, and we can connect with that. And we remember that has cut through the noise. And the key to organic growth, just to kind of put that disclaimer out there, it takes time, right? To build a relationship with someone, just like relationships in life take time, whether it's with friends, coworkers, colleagues, or new relationships. It takes a little bit of time. It also takes trust and authenticity, just what we're doing too. So when we come up with our strategies, they're more longer, medium to longer game kind of strategies, but you can see the results that we've gotten with some of the clients that we've worked with, right? And this comes from staying consistent and staying authentic. And so really, these are just a list of the things that you really need to do. You don't really need much to win. I know a lot of this could be a lot, but it's really just down to the basics, right? If you're really worried about it takes too much gear and lighting and audio and everything to make things work, in certain cases, yes, it really depends on the production that you're trying to put. But nowadays, all you really need is your phone. In fact, sometimes the phones that we have, the newer generation phones, are even better than some of the cameras, even from just a couple of years ago. Focusing on real solutions to problems over production value, because and this is just going back to traditional marketing principles, right? People are getting too fancy nowadays with different types of technology and different testing and different psychological factors, but really going back to the problem that our clients are having, and how do we connect with them on that problem, and how we demonstrate ourselves as the ideal solution of the problems, like literally marketing 101 since day one. Going back to that, focusing on that in order to solve problems, has been very successful for us. Authenticity attracts loyal fans. We always say we get clients, we turn strangers into clients into loyal fans. And what happens is, when we have loyal fans, they build a community for us, or we build a community, and we allow these loyal fans to interact with each other and to help each other with what they're doing. And a community building, we discussed this earlier too. We can have a whole presentation on community building, but community building itself, especially if you have higher ticket items, is one of my, I'm very intrigued with it in terms of like just being a marketing professional myself. I love the benefits that come from community building. Because once you have a community, your fans basically do your marketing for you. They'll go and tell their friends, their family about all the problems that you've solved for them and why they should join this amazing community that you've created. And then that allows you to take your foot a little bit off the gas of marketing, and then to focus on the more higher value, higher fun activities that you want to be doing in your business than having to focus too much on marketing all the time. Consistency wins the race. Sorry?
I said, I just love it. It's 1:57.
Oh, it is? Oh, geez. I'm losing track of time. I'm basically done. I have 2 more slides. If that's okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll just wrap it really quick. So we just want everyone to have fun and be creative. That's what we're all about. And these are just the 4 content. This is the trifecta right here, or the quadfecta. The short form micro content, the brand messages, expressing your core values is important, and then the social proof. And then this is just the stuff that we do here, right? We do sometimes personal brand intensive retreats that we bring people on, and then we can all just produce content together and have a really great time somewhere remote doing it. Coaching and workshops, branding strategy, content production, execution, content-driven growth marketing. And that's us. And that's it. So I don't know if we probably ate into a lot of time for Q&A. But yeah, no, I really appreciate the time that you guys have given us and the platform that you guys have given us. And I guess I'll pass it back over to Margaret. And apologies for going way over time.
Thank you so much. You know what? It was amazing. A lot of great information. I believe that everybody's going to want to go back and watch this again, because myself, like, just some really, really good stuff. Thank you so much, Acie and Tuan, for doing this. I hate to rush you. I think this should have been a work group. I think everybody should be signing up for a workshop, because here it is. That hour just went like that.
Yeah.
Power hour. I know, Mayank, you have a question, but maybe you just want to throw it into the chat box. Now, Tuan and Acie, did you put your information into the chat box so people can reach out to you?
Yeah, sure.
Yep, I did already.
Yeah, and I need to take my own advice. Our website's going to be up very soon, but I'll put the website.
Oh, that is funny. Okay, I'm going to have to comment, because I'm going, all this great stuff you're sharing. I want to go get a sample.
We're also rebranding at the same time.
We were reading it. That's all. Yeah.
We're going through a rebrand as well. All right. So
when did you start that? When did you start rebranding? What made you decide to rebrand?
It's when we started to actually, we hope to help people go through this customer journey too, or like this journey of discovery within their own business, right? Because I started as a video production company, and I was like, man, I just need to go out there and produce videos for people who just want videos for their business, right? Without thinking about, the psychology behind why they want to do that. What do they need to connect with people? And then the real aha moment for me too was that, like, this process is so complicated, right? This process is stressing everybody out. How can I make it fun for people, right? How can people have fun being creative? So this is when I married everything together. And, this is what 9 Mile Creative stands for. We're not just producing videos for people. We're not just doing stuff because we think we need to do it. We're doing it because like, this is amazing. This is fun. And it's also going to work. And this is authentic. So that's where the rebrand is happening right now.
You know what, Acie, I love it. I don't know if it's something to do with the universe. I heard you speak a lot about that. I'm very much into the laws of attraction, being very focused on what you want. And even though my partner, he's like the scientist, data-driven person, but it's all really algorithms. And it was interesting how everything starts marrying together when you think about it. We all go out sometimes and we expect this, and really we have to just keep fine-tuning it. And it's okay to maybe have a different message for different audiences, but you kept saying about, that one thing. When you're going out, it's like being very specific on what that is, research, do a plan. And I think I know personally I took a lot from it because I just think that's like really sage advice. That's really great. Does anybody else? Okay, I'm just letting everybody know because I like to respect everybody's time on this call. It is 2:00. So here in Canada, we give you permission to leave because we don't want you to feel bad. And I know that you might have another Zoom call. I want to thank you all for joining us. In the chat, I did put a couple links to, we have a strategy session. We call it networking, but really it's not that. It's about a power hour. We're going to getting together just to have some good conversation. And literally it can be anything from the next toilet economical to video. We don't know where it's going, but if you like to sit around the kitchen table and come into some good conversation, that would be awesome. And Bernie, next Tuesday we have, it's Jerry?
Jerry, once we have the information, we'll post it, and it's about remote working. She's out of New York. She talks about work culture.
Working culture. There you go, which of course is on the tip of everybody's mind. And on that note, I'm going to go back to Acie and Tuan as we wrap up the meeting. What is the 3 points you would like to leave people with today? I love the fun, so you don't have to say that. I'm all about, if we're going to do this wonderful world of entrepreneurship, we got to input some fun in there. But what 3 things would you like to leave them with?
Okay, so for me, I'll start with one and then I'll pass it over to Tuan, but it's really to get deep within yourself, right? I think with marketing, we focus too much up here on our head and like everything that's out there in the external world. It's pushing us to do and create content that we want to do for other people. We, as content creators, you never, ever want to create content because for other people, you want to do it for yourself. You don't want to do it for the likes, the follows, none of that. That will come after. What you really need to focus on is getting deep within yourself. What are your core values? What are you standing for? And what will you not break? And then once you get to that place, then everything just sprouts from there. It's like Simon Sinek, right? Start with why. When you start with your why, everything comes from there.
You're giving me goosebumps. I love it. I love it. Okay, Tuan, how about you?
Yeah, so marketing, no matter what, whether it be video or paid ads or anything, it's like jumping in the shower. It takes time to adjust for the temperature to be perfect. And so either way, get started and start creating a bit of a feedback loop. You're never going to get better or grow your business without that feedback loop. So, so just get started, even if you don't need to publish videos, and just do it on your own and use yourself as a small audience as a test to grow that. And the second thing is, I always believe in never leaving a stone unturned, and everything is worth testing. There's a beautiful thing called leverage. So learn to leverage, and there's many different ways to leverage. You can contact me afterwards because I could share you of countless ways of how I've leveraged 1 hour to produce 30 hours. And Acie and I do this all the time, right? We create leverage teams, and that's something I think everyone should consider, is learn how to create leverage every day. And there you go. That's where you create a return.
Perfect. Bernie, did you have a comment before we left? Like
Acie, Tuan, thank you very much. It was a lot of information. It's all good information. And to know that you're a resource here in Ottawa is also a very handy thing. And that you do TikToks, is most people, when they say, so TikTok, and it shouldn't matter, because once you do the core, you can take segments, all right, and peel from there as you need. And in fact, you can leverage it into sales.
I won't mention here, but contact me afterwards. I have so many examples of people attracting, 40, 50, 60-year-old audiences and generating a very strong business through TikTok. So every audience is on TikTok, in my opinion.
No, they are.
And sometimes it's just like, again, hanging with people that are already doing that takes that, fear factor out of it, right? False evidence appearing real. And until we actually immerse ourselves into it, you can be really afraid talking little things things in your head. So that was very cool. So I want to thank you guys. Mayank, okay, well, we're still here. Okay, Mayank, is it a very short thing?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Mayor.
Yeah, it's also not just
Bye, David.
It's not about the confidence to talk on screen. It's also about the confidence to say something that you really want to say that might piss some people off. And some people are actually confident talking on the screen, but they're not very ballsy enough to say something that can garner some kind of negative feeling. And that is why one man is right now the most popular man on the internet, and he got canceled, which is not a good thing. And that's why it happened. That's all. That also plays a big role in like creating video content.
Well, I think Mayank, what you're saying is, when you go out and you're authentic, you're going to attract your audience. And I think that's what everybody has to realize. When we put a message out there, it doesn't necessarily, it's all right that if everybody doesn't agree with us, because that's our dish, right? So line yourselves up with the community that gets you, I think, is important. So on that note, thank you so much. I'd love to have a chat with you both afterwards as well, because I really enjoyed having you here. Thanks, Bernie, for finding them, and have a great afternoon, everybody.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Boom. Hello, live. Hello, everyone. We're still live.